Cool. Okay guys, welcome back to another installment of our weekly YouTube series. My name is Glenn McDoldrick.
My name is Patrick Brown.
Lovely. So guys, this week we are still actually using videos from the 1 week course that we held 2 weeks ago, as we kind of built up a bank of videos during that week. So this week guys, my model was focused on something short and sharp. So I've done a really nice skin fade and a shape up. And we also talked about a couple of challenges with this model's hair, whereby he's got some quite strong growth patterns along the front, and we worked through how you can tackle those as well.
Cool. So with my model this week, in contrast to Glenn's, we actually worked with something on the longer spectrum. And I decided to address the idea of where commonly in a lot of barbershops today, we are seeing a lot of people looking to come through to maintain a bit of length in the top until one sort of skin fade. So we asked the question, how do you maintain balance with a haircut but still showing some sort of skin on the back and side? So I made use of a taper fade technique on my model this week, and we show how we marry it together with the longer layer on top, which is a really cool technique to blend together, showcase that nice bit of skin on something a little bit longer, as opposed to Glenn's model, which is quite short and sharp and really cool.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Pat. As always guys, you can hit the links below for our personal Instagram pages, for all of our tools that we use and courses as well. Thank you very much guys, enjoy the video. So guys, we have a massive announcement this week for you as well. To mark and celebrate our 25th video of our YouTube series, we are giving away one space on our 1 week development program free of charge. So guys, this course is going to run from June 12th until June 16th here at our academy in Dublin. For you to win a space on this course, all you have to do is like, comment and subscribe on this video, and we're going to pick a winner after our 25th YouTube video live on our Instagram channel. Alright guys, best of luck, and hopefully we see you here on our 1 week course from June 12th to June 16th. Thanks so much, see you then. Instead guys, what we get in this industry a lot is the same guideline, same height and the same technique for every hairstyle, right? And unfortunately that's when sometimes we do maybe 2 or 3 really clean fades in a row, and then we do one fade that's not so clean. And the reason being is that we potentially didn't change the guideline or didn't change the technique based on the individual's hair type and the hairstyle mainly. Okay? So what we want to do is always base it around what we're doing or what's in front of us. Okay? Now, why have I sectioned it like this? Well, because what I want to do guys ultimately is make sure that I build as much weight on this line here as possible. Okay, we can see that it's quite reactive here. So what I want to do is essentially over direct all the hair in the front back to this line. Okay, so I'm going to start off with section 1, cut it on the line, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, and give it some shape. Now we're not going to take a massive amount off guys, because we know of course the hair is very reactive, so we're not looking to take it right up to the hairline. All we're doing is looking to take each section down one at a time and just try and build up a little bit of weight on that line. Okay? Section by section. Okay, nice. And we're seeing that the weight now is sort of holding down that cowlick a little bit more, if you like. Okay, it's starting to kind of overpower it a touch. There, so my knuckles are essentially going to anchor to that point, and my fingers are just going to create almost like, you know, a false square effect, as if the head was just square. I'm not going to be out here because that's excess, so I'm just going to continue on from there as if the head was always square in the first place. Cool. We can see that it's a little bit heavy, not much though, so I'm not looking to come in here and absolutely take off loads of weight. If anything, it's going to be a very, very, very small amount of weight. Okay, knuckles are coming in. There's the last square point. See, we're taking off minimal. My fingers are simply building weight as if the head remained square. That's the first guide. Okay, and all I'm going to do here is keep taking sections and going back to previous each time. There's the guide, previous section, fingers nice and square. Nice. Keep doing that all the way across the crown, using diagonal sections, going back to previous. The absolute most important thing here, guys, is that your knuckles remain on the same point. See that my knuckles are just there and they're just coming off the head. You can see that almost just continuing off the head, see that last line? And we're building like walls that just connect everything together, okay? One section at a time, back to previous each time. Again, I'm not over directing down to here, so that wouldn't make sense. I'm just going back to previous. So where does the value come from? Right, is the value in removing length or making the client look good? So all that's grown on the top since Dan's last haircut is the length on the sides. So why am I going in and taking an inch off the top when it's only grown a millimetre if you, do you know what I mean? So for me, once I understood that actually I don't need to just take length off to show that I'm valuable, that I'm adding value, I need to just make them look good. And I'll tell Dan that, I'll say, look, you don't need to layer this. That matches your fringe. If anything, we just need to point roll it a little bit. Look, that layer looks fresh. That shape to me is perfect. If I take any more length off that, I'm gonna destroy that shape. My guideline. We're going to just do the everyday fade here, guys, something that we can really take back to the salon and do, you know, on 10 clients back to back. So I'm leaving a couple of follicles between there. What you don't want to do is drive the foiler right up beneath the line. Halfway between here and the two. Cool, so from the 0.5, I'm going to skip the 1 and go to 1.5, okay? And I'm going to bring this basically right beneath the number 2 now, look. So I'll use the transition guard after the 1 open, if it needs it. There's the line, there's the 1. And I'm not coming right up to the 2 now this time, because I don't want to remove my 1.5. Okay, so I'm just connecting the 0.5 into the 1.5 with the number 1. Making sure I'm not going up too high, controlling the blend. But sometimes line left, okay. All I'm going to do is use my 0.5 to remove whatever's left of that line. And then lastly, we're going to get rid of the 0. I'm just going to lift the 0 straight up into the 0.5.
But today what I want to showcase is something really, really cool, super efficient and super friendly to use to take back to your salons and try out on different clients. And this has really come from the viewpoint where if we have clients that are coming in, they're a little bit particular about fades. This is something that you can just suggest to them That's going to allow them to try it for a little while, and if they're not a fan, they can revert back to the way that they were wearing the hair, maybe 2 in the back and sides, or 4, or maybe like a scissors length. Or again, same thing, they've tested the water by using this type of technique, so they know for the next time, I actually love to maybe go a bit higher with it, or see a bit more skin. So essentially what I'm going to really do on Uda today is what we call a taper fade, which is a combination of a taper and a fade together, okay? And work their way back. The reason is we wanted the length at the front to dictate the length of the back, not the other way around. If I started off at the back and unfortunately took it too short, I have to go with that now. I have to put that in. Whereas if I start off at the front and say this is where I want my length, I can then layer off. So the first section was front to back. Now that I have my guide in there, I can work classically back to front now, okay, making it a lot easier. Again, just to set the rules before we really get into the nitty gritty. So here I am, we're going from back to front now. Section number 3, again on the right hand side, working coming through to the front. And again, same thing like we talked about on our first day. We know the closer towards the rounding of the head we get towards the front, guys, the more triangular I'm going to come. So I know that the fingers are going to pivot away from the frontal part of the head. And look to gradually, ever so slightly increase, guys, increase the length ever so slightly towards the front. Once again, we come through, find our guide. Okay, very little left to be cut here, guys, which is ideal due to the level of over direction. A little bit at the front here, which is fine. Go, angle the fingers ever so slightly, just to encourage that triangular shape towards the front. Now what we do, we repeat that process on the other side. Section. Back the way it's going to be worn. All right, if I pull on my graduation down like this and start clipping on into that, unfortunately I want to end up removing it. Yeah, so what we want to do is first of all have it sitting back the way that it's going to be worn. So a little tip, what I suggest, first of all, make sure that the graduation is blow dried back the way it's going to be styled. All right, get that right on in there. Square point in the head and off. Pretty much. Once you shape it up, we'll see how it looks. Right off there. Now notice the belly of the clipper is inverted and coming at that nice 90-degree angle from the head. Top of the ear there, yeah. It's going to invisibly continue through and past the ear there. A little S, that little S that we talked about. So what we want to see, come through. If I put it in here, unfortunately, don't have as much space, too high. So we need to pivot like a little S. Bottom of the ear is generally the sweet spot, guys, yeah. It's a little S coming through, all right. Bring that right on round to the middle to meet what I've done on the other side, like so. Okay, continue on round past the ear. Come dipping it ever so slightly towards the back. Okay. That's going to be our number 1. All right, with all this. If I go in with one open, the temptation is to flick in to all that graduation. I want to bring in the transition guard and just create another little kind of bevel of weight, if you like. Or just, remember guys, we talked about descending, about bringing all the guards underneath each other. So this is going to open up the space for my 1.5 to flick on in to the transition, like so. I'm creating that little bit of breathing space for the 1 open to come in. And notice guys, what we have left down at the bottom then is the 0, 0 line. How would you suggest we take that out? What are we going to do there? 0.5, flicking through that line. See how the line is disappearing? Now all I need to do, Drop the motion, the 0, and flick that into that line. It's completely blemish on it, yeah? Very, very simple. Dot that edge there a little touch. So what that gives you is a little exit point there. It gives you a little exit point. I'm going to start here in the middle, bring your shape up the whole way around, and gradually just begin to work our way around, guys. Just to carve in that little C. All right? The beautiful thing about the taper fade that leaves us a little kind of band of darkness over the ear. So it looks like a taper and a fade at the same time. Okay, coming over the ear. Shaping up all of this. See how very minimal is coming off, guys, with this scissor over comb here. Reasons because that's the way it should be, really. It should be just to refine any little kind of stray hairs or edges or such that we just don't really need.